This week, KEZI is teaming up with the Oregon Urology Institute to focus on prostate cancer awareness. And tonight, Rick is introducing us to a prostate cancer patient who knows firsthand how important regular testing is. Rick's in the studio with tonight's Closer Look.
Brandy, tomorrow and Wednesday, KEZI and the Oregon Urology Institute are teaming up for the second annual free prostate cancer screening clinic at Valley River Center Mall. Prostate cancer is highly treatable if caught early, and testing becomes more important as men age. Recently, I talked to a Eugene sports writer who knows that firsthand. For any fan of track and field, Hayward Field is hallowed ground. Whether it's the Prefontaine Classic or the Olympic trials, this is where you come to see pure sport. The athletes, a pumping, living organism, testing their limits, beating the odds, and for some, winning the day. But not long ago, one follower of the sport here in Eugene found himself at the starting blocks of a different kind of race. For Joe Henderson, sports writer, husband, father, the goal wouldn't be a finish line on the field. It would be a finish line he still can't see. His foe in this singular race is prostate cancer.
While I was driving to Portland,
the call came out of the blue from his oncologist.
He was very straightforward about it, didn't sugarcoat it at all. He said the first thing he said was, we found some cancerous spots in your biopsy and we need to take care of them.
Joe's wife, Barbara, was on a teaching assignment in Washington, D.C. So after a little trepidation, he had to break the news to her over the phone.
My initial reaction when the doctor called was to be stoic about it and say, I think I said words to the effect that, well, it looks like it's my turn. I'm going to go through it. And then I think as the hours went on that day, it became more sobering, steadily more sobering, especially because I really had no one to talk to about it.
It's a cultural problem. It's a personal problem. It's tied to the machismo and not wanting to, admit that you're getting older and you're not as strong as you were because, in the world of men, physical strength is important to your status.
Barbara is a breast cancer survivor, so the diagnosis wasn't the shock it might have been for another man's wife. And she knew from her own experience that the key to surviving cancer is moral support.
I think Joe would have been pretty depressed if he'd had to face this on his own. He would have had a lot of self-doubt, a lot of confusion probably, but then again, he is a farm boy.
She's in many ways my opposite. She's probably more adventuresome than I am, and she's more outspoken than I am. She's a city girl, I'm a country guy.
So the city mouse and the country mouse dealt with the diagnosis head on. As Joe discovered, the prostate cancer patient has a choice of treatments, much like track athletes choose between, say, a high jump or a distance event.
Surgery was quick and dirty. It's they go in and take out your prostate and you heal up, and 6 weeks later you're pretty much back to full activity, and you hope that it's dead and gone. And radiation is long term. It's been a year, and I'm still dealing with the last of the effects. And but it's much less disruptive or invasive on your life.
For Joe, the race hasn't been won yet. It's only been a year. After 45 radiation treatments, he came out clean and impressed everyone with his amazing attitude.
He basically kept up with everything he was doing. He kept running. I mean, he was an incredible hero. He trained for a marathon during his whole treatment, and he ran it at the end. And, Joe is a heroic guy in many ways, even though he's kind of quiet about it.
Barbara is everything Joe is not. She's vocal, unsentimental, very practical. Joe, the free spirit, describes her as grounded.
Grounded is a very good term because it's literally so here. she has her hands in the dirt most of the time, and if I'm not a full participant in it, at least I'm an observer of it and seeing that's a good life.
He's the poet, the self-described dreamer. She's the planter, the earth mother. There's a Chinese proverb that applies here. If you want to be happy for an hour, drink too much. If you want to be happy for a day, marry. But if you want to live forever, make a garden. Joe and Barbara are knee-deep in their own forever, for however long that lasts. Again, there will be a free prostate cancer screening clinic tomorrow and Wednesday from 10 to 6 at the Valley River Center parking lot. Last year, over 500 men showed up for the two-day event, so it might be a good idea to take along something to read while you wait. Brandy?